Hi, I'm David Brett Lavelle and I work with North Hertfordshire College.
Hi, my name is Anthony Gascoigne from North Hertfordshire College. I'm a lecturer tutor here. Today we're going to make pasta. We're going to make pasta two different ways. We're going to make it in the Robocoop and we're going to make it on the bench. Two different ways of making it. Basic ingredients, we've got some 00 flour, which is a very fine ground flour. In Europe, the grading for flour is 00 to 2, 2 being coarse, 0 being very fine flour. We've got some salt in there as well. We've got some eggs, large eggs, and we've got some olive oil and water. And first, we're going to make it in the Robocoop and then on the bench. Okay. So, first thing we're going to do is just pour the dry ingredients in. So you got your flour and your salt. In reality, if I have a Robocoop in industry, this is probably the way I'd make it because it avoids introducing a lot of heat into the pasta. It's quick, it binds it very, very quickly. Lid on, and we're just going to set the Robocoop on, and we're going to pour all the wet liquids into each other, and then we're going to just feed that into the top of the Robocoop. We're going to wait until you just start hearing it come together. Just hear it now. We're going to stop the machine. Lid off. This does make quite a wet dough, this recipe, so you will need a little bit of flour down as well. And as you can see, the dough's all bound together, and we're just going to pull that together, get it to the consistency we want.
Would you be still stretching it?
Yeah, really and truly at this point, Dave, I'm just bringing the dough together. I'm just getting it together. I don't really want to work the gluten in the flour. I'm just bringing the dough together so it's nice and pliable and of a consistency where you can roll it without it sticking.
You still want that elasticity?
Yeah, I want that elasticity and you know, yeah, and if you just feel that, it's nice and springy.
Yeah, perfect.
Doughy, it's not too wet, it will go through the machine, which Dave's going to demonstrate later. So that's your machine-made pasta, very, very quickly. What we would do now with that is cling film it, and we're going to rest it in the fridge for between 20 minutes and 30 minutes. Thank you, Chef.
No worries. With the cling film, what we want to do as well is we don't want to tighten it too much. We want it quite loose because when it rests, we want it to rest in there because that's going to change the form of the shape. If we do it too tight, once it's come back from the fridge, then it's going to be square or it's going to be odd shaped, and we don't want that. Perfect.
Excellent. Right, okay, so now we're going to make the pasta on the bench. Same ingredients, same ratios. We're just going to make it on the bench. The reason we're going to make it on the bench is because this is the way it would have been done originally. And whilst it's quicker and easier to make it in the machine, actually you're not feeling the dough as much. You can't feel it coming together. So I think it's always a good idea to learn the traditional ways first, so you get a feel for the dough, the elasticity, whether more flour should be added, whether more liquid should be added.
You have a bit more control this way as well, don't you? You
do have a little bit more control up to a point.
Yep.
There will be a risky, hairy moment where all the ingredients come together in the middle and it spills out the side. So actually it gets you working, you know, efficiently on the bench as well, keeping yourself clean and tidy. So what we're going to do is create a well in the center. I call this like a fortress. So these are the walls which we don't want the wet ingredients to breach. In with the olive oil and water. Just make that a bit bigger. Like so. And then we're just going to...
It's really important to have this well and these walls, supportive walls, because I mean, if there was a leak in there, you've got eggs running everywhere, and you've got a bit of a
Absolutely.
disaster going on, really.
And there will be a point where it does spill and you have to use your bench and you have to, use your skills and your technique and speed. All we're going to do to start with is just incorporating some of the flour from the outside and, do it gradually, take a little bit of care with it, get a feel for what the dough is doing.
Would you always use your fingers? Or use
Fingertips.
or a fork? Maybe?
You could use a fork. Personally, I like to use my hands so I know what it feels like.
Yeah.
And a fork is just going to get a little bit doughy, a little bit messy. So you can see it's starting to come together a little bit. Again, just incorporating some of the flour around the outside.
You've got that nice rich colour from the yolks and the extra olive oil.
Yeah, the olive oil is great because it gives it that elasticity as well, also flavour. I think it's important as well at this stage. You will find chefs do things all a little bit differently. So at that point, what we're going to do, it's nice and pliable now. It's not too wet. It's not rolling across the bench. The bench is still quite clean. It's all controlled. And we're just going to fold that through the flour, bringing it together with the scraper, which is a useful tool to keep yourself clean and to incorporate all the ingredients. If you were to do this in a bowl, the risk would be you would have dough sticking to the edges, and that all should be incorporated. It's the same when making any dough. When you weigh the recipe, all those ingredients or quantities in the recipe should all be utilised. So as you can see, it takes a little bit longer, but it's good for me because I know that this dough is going to be, not too wet, not too dry. But if it is getting a little bit too dry, I can quickly add a little bit of liquid. Okay, so when we get to that point, I'm just going to bring it in with my hands. Like so. Looks a bit messy at the moment.
But that will all bind together.
It will all bind in. You can use the dough.
That's always a good point, actually, using the dough to incorporate all those scraps.
Yeah, to clean your bench almost. We're bringing it together now. Again, I don't want to overwork the dough. I just want to get the dough mixed. Remove from your fingers. And bring the dough in. A little bit of a knead in. Now that's all together. It's good consistency, same as the last one. Same outcome, same quality of ingredient, just done a different way. Takes slightly longer. Same principle.
Still got that texture there, isn't it? Springing back.
Yep.
It's perfect.
And because I have used my hands with that a lot more, I know it's the right consistency. After that's rested, we will then be able to roll it through the machine. So 20, 30 minutes resting in the fridge, and then we're going to demonstrate some pasta dishes with it.